Hey there, everyone. This is Chris McDonald, and we also have Matt Avery on to answer your questions. We still have a handful of people joining us, so I'm going to give it another minute or so before I get going. But in the interim, I'll go ahead and remind everyone, if this is your first time joining, you should have a GoToWebinar control panel. Usually it's on the right-hand side of your screen, and there is a questions section there. So if you have any questions as we're going along, you can type those in there. And if it's a specific to you question, then Matt will jump on it. However, if it's a question that we should float out to everyone, we'll make sure to pause, and Matt will let me know what that question was, and we'll discuss. So with that being said, I think our attendees joining has dropped off a bit. So today we are, I believe, on 3 of 4 on the MYLAPS RunSignup certification. And this is the publishing results with RaceDay results. So this is publishing out of RaceDay results to RunSignup. We'll show I just like images. For years, we didn't have the fancy images, so I'm in love with these now. So we'll just jump straight on to live demo, and I am going to pass the controls over to my PC because, of course, I have 2 computers going. And let's see if I can get this to work like I want it to. There we are. Excellent. All right, so we've already been through how to set up RaceDay scoring, and next week we're going to be talking about some back-end tools for RunSignup. So at this point in the RaceDay experience, the idea is that you have already set up your streams, that data's coming in, and that everything's that your dashboard kind of looks like this. You have finishers for your top 5. And you might have multiple events. We're going to specifically be working on the 7-mile run in this event. And this was a real event that we did. And so you have people, I mean, ideally, when you're pushing results, you might even have no one in progress, which these progress reports are really cool. We'll go through that in a second. You've got reads by location, and then you also have raw reads and ignored reads. So all of this is in here. You've set up all the different sections, like your scored events, your timing locations, your streams, your segments, and your age groups. I am going to jump into the age groups really quickly just to make sure that we're all on the same page with how things are set up and what they're going to look like. And so after we go through this example for the 7-mile run, I'm actually going to migrate over to a different event, a triathlon, so that we can see what other categories look like and how you can set those up for like Clydesdales and Athenas. So for right now, though, I'm going to go into the age groups classifications. And we'll look at the different ways these are set up. I've got the 3 and the 5-mile run. I didn't mess with those. They just have the overall male and female. There were no age group categories. This was just a kind of a participation event, if you will. And so I've updated the 7-mile to add in age groups. And for those of you that might not remember, just really, really quickly, I did go into set top finishers, and I set an overall of 3 and 3, males and females. I did set a master starting at age 40 and a second priority, which means they'll fall into overall first. And I've allowed them to jump. So if somebody's 40 or 45 and they went, they're the fastest time overall, they will then jump. They'll all jump settings. They'll go into the overall until all 3 of those spots are filled. And so I only have 1 male and female overall. So I'm just going to close that out. And then again, for these age groups, I went into range insert, and it's super, super easy. Again, this is not how this actual event was set up, but we just wanted to play around with some data. So I did set the range size at 10, starting age at 20, up to 79, and then I did select upper and lower age groups, which put a 1 to 19 and an 80 and above. And so I hit add age ranges, and I was highlighted on the 7-mile run. So all of this went in. So if you can see, as I toggle back and forth in between different events, they do have different age group settings. So that being said, I'm going to go into reports, and there are two main reports that populate, or there are two reports that populate automatically. There's an age group report and an overall report. And so the age group report is a breakdown. And if we go into this one, we'll just see 1 to 99 for males or females. And if we scroll down, we'll see 1 to 99 for males. And if you need to toggle through additional people in each one of those, you can. And so with that, you can also dive into the raw reads for these participants. So if you're looking at a specific report, you can see all of these hyperlinked things. So if I want to go in and look at Skylar Hayes, I can click on that. I can see all the data from this person. So, and again, this was a gap factor timed event, so they could start and finish whenever they wanted to. And so this better read selected means that they were still sitting around and hadn't hit that gap factor, and boom, there it was used. And so that person's time is, whatever, 28:16. So we're going to jump down, or I'll go to the overall report as well. The overall is exactly what it seems like. Every single person in the overall report. So the difference here is you have different options for an age group versus an overall report. You don't see the quick publish and the auto save. So these, a lot of times what you're doing with your age group report is you are setting things up so that you can print results for a race director or for awards or something like that. And so you do have a number of export options: HTML, CSV, text, PDF, and print. A lot of people would just use the print function. Personally, I like dumping it into a PDF, so I have a saved version of what I printed out, and I'll just number those sequentially, like awards 1, awards 2, awards 3. That way they're counting up as I go, and I can go back and look if there were any errors with my scoring. Maybe we missed someone, or maybe somebody needed to get DQ'd. So again, this is the export and print functions. You also have actions, so you can edit, duplicate, delete, and print preview here. And we're going to play around with the 7 mile on this. So what I'm going to do is, if we want to look at the 7 mile age group report, you can see that we have those top 3 overall males, top 3 overall females, and then we have the masters, the 4, and they happen to be 46 years old, so they're the first master. And then the 7 mile female for masters, they were the 5th place female, but they were the first master. And then it goes down, and you might think, oh, well, we had 3 award winners. Perfect. This age group only had 2. And this one has 8. Well, maybe I only want to print out the award winners. A lot of times what I'll do in this scenario, because this is going to give you everyone in every age group, what you can do is, in this age group report, you can either go in and edit it here, and we'll go into some of these edit functions, or if you want to leave this as is, you can always duplicate it and change the name. So maybe this is, we'll just do awards. So with this duplication, you can add a report section. So you would choose, and this already has one report in here. You can drag and drop them once they're in, but this is your 7 mile age groups. If you wanted to add another, and there are plenty of other, I have preem information and other templates to use from other events. But if you want an overall and an age group section, you can drop these in. And so you can create your own reports as you see fit. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with just this age group, because for 99% of the events, this is all you need for a printout for your race director. So if you need to edit the columns, all you need to do is you can click on this, and you can either delete things, like let's say we don't want city-state. We just don't need that in there. So we can remove that. If you need to add columns, you can go here and you can search for any columns that are in there. And then once they're added, you can move them around. You can also change the name of the columns if you want to. So maybe you don't want it to say chip time, you just wanted to say time. and you want it to be inserted, or the column alignment to the right. Oh, did I save that? Sorry. Yep, that's right. All right, so one thing that you're probably going to want to do here is under the filters, if this is the award category, we're going to want to go in and just show the number of places per age group. So in most scenarios, it's 3. You might have an event that's 5 or 10 or what have you. You could also show more things in there, like non-starters or non-finishers. And so you can also add participant scoring filters. So for this specific example, we're going to keep it really, really simple. So again, if we go back into this age group awards and hit edit, we can see that we have our age group category, our columns are there, and then for the filters, we're only going to show 3 in each age group. Now, this is only for the age group categories. The overalls will show up like above that. So we don't need to save anything. And if we click this, we can go in and we can see our overall males, our overall females, our master male, master female, and then we get only, this one only had 2 people in it, but now this doesn't have 8 anymore. It only shows the top 3. If we want this to be, you know, whatever, 5, we can always go in and edit, change this to 5, save the report, and now when we go in, we'll see 5 people in age groups that have 5. Remember, this only has 2 to begin with. So these can be done while data is streaming in. So for those of you that might have timed with Race Director before and remember having to pause your streams or pause the data flowing into Race Director and then running a report to check to make sure everything looks right. So you can do this at the same time that the data is moving in, which is great. And you can also export. So again, this would be if we want to export this to PDF, and it's going to save on a different page. So I apologize. So I'll hit save it and then pull it onto. I've got multiple screens, so you can see the 7-mile overall, the masters, and then it bumps down into your age groups. And so a lot of people would rather print from PDF. It's just personal preference because they get a better idea of what's going to print out. So that's how you would export for awards. Now, let's say you are on site and you have your MiFi set up and you want to stream this data directly to RunSignup as it's coming in. So the benefits here are if you have settings turned on, so if we go into, one great way of looking for this is if you type in the word, not test, but text, sorry. So what you can do is set up results, notifications, and links. And so we'll make sure, and I'm not going to want to send out text to these folks, but when you set up registration, if you allow participants to set up text and email notifications, you can have that set. And so the benefit there is when you auto-publish, when you auto-save your overall report, as soon as that hits RunSignup, those folks will get a text. And all of that's included when you're using the registration for RunSignup. So all of this is included, or honestly, if you have a RaceDay scoring license and push it up, it's included as well. So, so all you need to do here is you will need access to the event. And so some of you will be creating this event through RaceDay scoring, but others will be listed as the timer. And that's how RaceDay scoring links to the event. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click autosave. And this really cool page pops up, and you have 2 options. You have your RunSignup results and your RaceDay Hub kiosk. So RunSignup results are what we're going to talk about today. RaceDay Hub kiosk, I know you guys went over it during the training, but just as a reminder, when you go into this, you can save however much you want to. But this is going to be for a local area network where you're pushing results to Chromebooks or computers that people can walk up. It's usually used when you don't have internet access on site. So in this scenario, you do have internet access and you're pushing up to the web. So we're going to go in, and as soon as we press the plus button, we have autosave every, and we don't have anything shorter than 30 seconds. The reason behind that is it's not going to save, like there's no purpose in getting it up any faster just because it's not going to refresh any faster than that. So I leave it a lot of times with 30 seconds. Now, if you have a result set already set up on RunSignup, you can change this information here. The way you would know if you have a blank result set, one of two ways. You could go to the results here, and if you click on, let's say we're going to 7 mile, sorry, scroll off of that, and we go to 7 mile overall, this is the result set ID. But if we're making a completely new result set, you just leave this blank. You don't have to do anything. If you're wanting to add or update a current result set, you would type in that, whatever that result set number was, 231991. You would put that right here. So you can change the title of your result set as it appears at RunSignup. And so this is, and I just want to double check that I'm back into this. Oh, we didn't actually. Let's duplicate it and change the name so we. And we will just save that report. That way we know we're working on a new one. And so we'll go to autosave, press plus, and so you can see now that it defaults the name of the result set title to the name of your result set that you have in RaceDay scoring. If you need to, you can change the result scored event. You shouldn't need to do that at this point. And you can change the pace if you want to. But most of this should be correct coming out of RaceDay scoring. So you'd have a questions contact email that you can put in. You can put your timer name if you want to. So your event URL, your questions contact URL. I want to disable result set notifications right now because I don't want to email these folks. And then, yeah, let's show an age-graded calculation by RunSignup. And then you also have advanced options. So if you have a lot of other fields, you can choose to send those up to RunSignup. But for right now, we're not going to worry about that. So I'm going to hide those advanced options. And so we've got this set up, and I'm going to hit add stream. So here's the thing to remember. We hit add stream. If I hit X, it doesn't actually save these settings. So we added that stream, and now we want to go into save settings. So what we've done now is we've created an AutoSave report for this 7 mile run overall test. So if I go in here and hit refresh, 7 mile run overall test, I have results in there now. And I've got male overall, female overall, 1 masters, your age groups. All these divisions came out onto RunSignup. So all of this auto pushes up, and we have an age grade in here too. Now, you can change what you want to go up anytime you want to. So for this autosave setting, we didn't go in and edit the columns for this one, but we could have. We could have removed the state or the city, whatnot, if you didn't want that in there. You can also, I don't think I'm going to do that. So you can also go in here and edit this page as well. So once you go in, you can choose if you didn't like the way things are set up. Maybe you don't want the gender place in there, and you don't feel like going into RaceDay scoring and changing it. Maybe you want the age and then the sex. You want to hide city and state for some reason. You just hit all that, and you can remove it there. So it's a quick and easy way to update the result settings as you see fit. So are there any questions on so far? None. Wow. So again, this is a pretty simple setup that I've done here. And just running through really quickly reports, and all I've really done, you won't likely need to copy and duplicate things like that. I just wanted to show new result set since this event already has result set in there. So again, if you want your awards category and you want an age group report, just duplicate it, and under actions, edit, filters, you can change the number of people to show for your awards. And for your overall report, you would just do you would do an autosave, and you can go into autosave settings at any point and edit those. And so now you see we have an existing RunSignup result set ID, because we look right here, 241-511, 241-511. It's in RunSignup now. And if we need to edit that result for any reason, under RaceDay tools, results, edit results, you will now see, let's see, where's test? Right there, overall test. And we can see we have 60 results in that. The source name is test name. So timing services provided by test name. And that's the information we put into RaceDay scoring, test name. So hopefully that setup, that very basic setup, is clear. Still waiting. I'm guessing that's very, very clear because we have no questions so far, which is awesome. So you've got your very basic, you're going to a 5K, 10K or something like that. You've got the way to stream results. Now, again, you do not need to stream your age group results. Why? Because you've set up your divisions within RaceDay scoring. So these divisions that we set up and these top finisher categories that we set up in RaceDay scoring, they're going to push up to RunSignup with the results. So all we have to do is under the age group division, if we want to tell, if somebody wants to say, hey, well, how do I know, how do I see just my age group? They can go in here and see this. Now, just a quick point of order, if somebody's complaining, oh, well, I don't see myself in my age group, just obviously do a quick check. Hey, were you pretty fast? Because some people don't pay attention and they're actually in the overall results. And so obviously we put that we didn't want them in our overall settings here. We put remove overall winner from age groups. So if it's a national championship or state championship or something like that, where they need to win overall national championship and they need to win their age group national championship, you would just need to make sure that you don't have that clicked.
Hey, Crisp.
Yep.
Can you show also how the age group division results show beneath the main result table on RunSignup?
Oh, yep, absolutely.
Thanks.
All right, so let's go back to all results here. Oh, I just fouled that up when of course. Give me one sec. Let me save this. It loves it when you have already pushed things up and you start changing your age groups. Let's see. There we are. So this is your overall results for this event. Again, we're back into overall, the 7-mile test overall. So if we scroll down, we can keep seeing data, but if we scroll all the way, it's going to show you the first, I believe it's 100 defaults to 100 per page. But underneath this, it actually gives you a really good breakdown of your awards categories. So if you ever want to have a secondary person double checking, hey, are the age groups correct? Are they showing up correctly? You can see right here our male overall breakdown, our female overall breakdown, our 2 masters divisions. And then what's going to happen is it's going to give a breakdown of each age group. And so it's only giving us 3 because we put 3 in the age group. If we want to see more and we click see more, it's going to bring all the people up in the division we clicked on. So that's all you have to do is scroll down to the bottom underneath and you get all of your age group breakdown. So if you don't, let's say a lot of people right now aren't printing results out or printing awards out for the race director. Maybe you're at the timing tent and you're announcing everything just to make everything easier. If you don't feel like printing and you want someone else while you're timing to do the awards, you can quite literally go to the result set on RunSignup and utilize this as long as you know, all of your awards are set for that specific event. Let's see. Yeah, so if you want more than 100 at a time, you would just go to all. This event is enormous, jokingly. So there's only, I think, 60 people in this specific event. But yeah, if you want to see everyone, you can see everyone there at the RunSignup level. And if you ever need to get all of this data that's been pushed up, this is a question from Pete. If you ever want to get all of the data, you can also go onto the back end, the same place where you can change this metadata. You can click the download Excel, an Excel or CSV of this information. So if I go into, let's see, download CSV, it's going to download. And I don't know which screen it's going to populate. There we go. And so it's going to download all the data into CSV. So that can come from RunSignup as well. However, if you're doing it, I would probably advise you to do it out of RaceDay scoring. Does that answer your question, Pete? Hopefully it does. So, okay, let's go to some other events.
Hey, Chris, one more thing before we move off of that, if you don't mind.
Yep, let me go back in.
Yeah, in the age groups, there's one more setting that I get questions about for people who are particular about awards display. So if you go to the report for the age groups and edit one of them, yeah, that one works. At the bottom, there's a sorting options. So we do have a way to say, I want the males to show before females or the females before males, and then I want to group them by gender or not. Some people want to show like, let's present all the females and then all the males, whereas some like to do, let's do the female 19 to 29, then the male 19 to 29, then the female 20, so on and so forth. So we have options to change the sorting of the sections within the age group report right there.
So now it's going to go back and forth in between female and male. And just keep in mind on this page, if it's an empty result set, you're just not going to see it there. And you can show those people if you want to, but in most scenarios, you don't want to see them. So, and if we print preview, I'm on a really weird screen, so I apologize. It's this preview on my secondary monitor. It's hard to see, but you can see that this is what it's going to look like if you want to use the print preview function. Again, I personally like to use the PDF. I think it's a cleaner way, and you get to save it. So I just like having backups to backups to backups. So anything else before we jump on to another quick? Okay. So I'm going to go into another event. So this is a triathlon. So the reason why I want to show you this is because you've got your normal age groups like we would, but then the top finishers, we have a little bit different setup. And that's because for this specific event, we don't have overall winners. We have an open elite category. So we have a lot of different categories here. So open elite, Clydesdale, Masters Clydesdale, Athena, Masters age group. So this Masters age group is quite literally someone that raced age group is the top 40 and over age grouper. So this is kind of a very specific way of setting things up. But we wanted an open elite division where all of the people in this division go into this category. So they would not, no open elite person would show up in their age group. And Clydesdale, the same thing. It's male only. The starting age is 0, and it's 90. Like they have every single person in there. Now, Clydesdale and these Open Elite are a little bit different because what we wanted to do is we needed to have a field selected. Oops, sorry. So we needed for these people to be, our field selected was their, I believe it was their category. I don't know why this wasn't. Yeah. So this must have accidentally deleted it just before, but they had a category in here, and it was equal to Open Elite, which means they were in the Open Elite category. For Clydesdale, had their category as Clydesdale, but then their age was less than 40. So we needed to do this a little bit differently than the other setups, just because all of these people weren't filtering into any other division. So we didn't want to have, this event didn't want Masters Clydesdale. The first place Masters Clydesdale couldn't win the Clydesdale division. So we set all of these settings the same for Athena and Masters Athena. And you'll see how this filters out. So Masters age group now, again, they have to be age group, only the top male and female. But we don't have, this one we actually wanted only one, because anybody else that fell into this category would go into their respective age groups. All the others were set at 999. And so, and then you have your normal age groups. So now when we go into our awards division, you have all of your Open Elites. So there were 15 Open Elites. For the females, there were 5 Open Elites. This is all the Clydesdales and all the Masters, or Masters Clydesdales, Masters Athenas. Looks like we didn't have any regular Clydesdales. And then it goes straight into your age groups for age group awards. Now, we set up this filter similarly to how we did the other event, where we put 5, the top 5 would show in the age groups. But for the overall, you're going to see all of them. So you see 14 overall, but all the rest of these categories, once we get into the age groups, you're only going to see 5. And if you don't want some of these other fields, you can easily go in and edit, and either edit the columns placement or remove them if you want to, and go from there. So we ran a little bit over. Normally keep these timer tip Tuesdays to about 30 minutes. So I don't know if there's any questions now that you can see how to do some overall reports. We just wanted to give you a really basic overview and not drill down too deep. I know some of you are very experienced with writing custom reports. Just didn't want to confuse some of the newer people on this end, but we are going to be doing some additional reporting. We have a reporting 2.0 coming out in the near future. And that will give you a lot more power to run a lot more custom reports. And yeah, we're also going to be doing a troubleshooting how to timer tip Tuesday, so that you can learn how to deal with some of these. Red doesn't necessarily mean bad. Ignored reads doesn't mean bad. It just now. But if you go and see unknown bib or chip, yeah, we need to fix that. And so this, we were actually testing things out with an event. So we knew that person wasn't gonna, we knew who that person was and wanted to see the error message. So any other questions? I know a number of you have reached out, and we've done some one-on-one sessions, and I think you found that helpful. So don't forget that that is available. You can reach out to me at Chris@RunSignup if you do have any questions. I know for one person on the call, I left a response open-ended at our last one-on-one. and I think we answered one of those here. So I hope you see the the how-to on your age groups and awards categories. So with that being said, I'm going to, let's see, I can change presenter again to my all right. So our upcoming webinars, we do have our next one is next week, next Tuesday. This is a little bit longer one, and it is the first time that we are doing a RunSignup timer certification. So this is focused specifically on the back end and tools of RunSignup. I realize this one is a bit longer. However, if you are new to RunSignup, I would strongly advise you joining. We'll have one of the top account managers at RunSignup, Matt Sinclair, who will be helping run this. And he's great at explaining. He also times some races too, so he really has a great understanding of what timers need when it comes to the back-end use of RunSignup. So if there are no other questions, still waiting on like 10 super hard questions about things. You're welcome, Hope. Well, great. All right. Well, if you do have questions, feel free to reach out, crisp@runsignup.com, and I'd be more than happy to either set up a one-on-one or answer the questions that you have. And I just also remind you, as you're getting into this, don't hesitate to click that question button in the top right-hand corner of RaceDay scoring. If you see something that you wish it would do, or if you have questions, that is that's a great support way of sending in. It sends us a backup of RaceDay scoring, and you get to put in a quick blurb about what issue you're seeing. And so don't be afraid to test things out, even if you're using it as a secondary timing option at your events as you're coming back to in-person events. I would strongly advise sending in support tickets, asking questions. We're here to support you and hopefully make your race day experience smooth. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and looking forward to chatting with you next week at the RunSignup timer certification. So thanks. Have a great day.